Daughters. What's the biggest mistake dads make with their daughters? When I was a teenager, my relationship with my dad was complicated in ways I didn't fully understand at the time. He was a good man, hardworking, quiet, and mostly kind, but there was one thing he never quite got right. He treated me like I was invisible. From early on, he never asked about my interests or my feelings. He was there when I needed a ride or when school meetings came up, but he rarely talked to me beyond the surface. When I tried to share something important, like a bad day at school or a fight with a friend, he would nod and say, "You'll get over it," or "It's not a big deal." It wasn't that he was mean or cruel, just distant. I learned to keep things inside, to shrink myself so I wouldn't bother him. The biggest mistake he made was never seeing me as a whole person. It was like I was a shadow in the house, always around but never quite real to him. When I started dressing differently or finding my own style, he barely noticed. When I talked about music or books, he'd smile politely but change the subject. It hurt more than I wanted to admit. There was one time when I was 16 and came home after a terrible day. I had just lost my best friend over something stupid, and the weight of it felt like it was crushing me. I sat at the kitchen table with my head in my hands, trying not to cry. My dad walked in, saw me there, and instead of sitting down or asking what was wrong, he said, "You need to toughen up. Life's not easy." I wanted to shout at him, to tell him that his words felt like a wall I couldn't climb, but the words got stuck. Instead, I just nodded, wiped my eyes, and went to my room. That night, I felt more alone than ever. As years passed, I realized his distance wasn't personal. It was how he was raised. His own dad had been even colder, and emotions were something to hide, not share. But for me, it made a gap grow between us, one that got harder to bridge with every passing year. When I left for college, I told myself I wouldn't need his approval or understanding anymore. I'd built a life separate from him, with friends and mentors who saw me fully. Still, the absence of that connection left a hollow space. It wasn't until I became an adult that I saw him differently. He wasn't good at expressing love, but he showed it in other ways, fixing things around the house, quietly supporting my choices, and always showing up when I needed him. The mistake he made was never learning to say the things I needed to hear, the small words that make a difference. "I'm proud of you. I see you. I'm here." Even now, those words don't come easily for him. But I understand that sometimes love isn't about big gestures or loud declarations. Sometimes it's the quiet presence, the willingness to listen, even when it's hard. The biggest mistake dads make with their daughters, in my story, was not realizing that a daughter needs to be seen and heard, not just protected or provided for. It took me years to learn to fill that space on my own, to find people who valued me for who I was. But in the silence between us, there was also a lesson about resilience and hope. My dad wasn't perfect, and neither was our relationship, but it shaped me in ways I'm still figuring out. And maybe, in time, the distance will become less, replaced by something quieter, but real.